Welcome back to One Principle. Today we're going to be speaking about rock or rock bottom. So what I've heard most people talk about when coming to Christianity or considering Christianity or just talking about it in general is the control that you lose when you start to submit under God. Because you can't do this and there's this list of restrictions you have and it's just not fun. Because the mindset isn't where it needs to be. The focus is still on pleasure, not purpose. Their heart is still not fruitful ground. And it's a flesh that just seeks these momentary pleasures. Okay? Firstly, we need to know that God doesn't constrict. He doesn't restrict to control, but He guides for our survival. Okay? Because His ways are above our ways. His glory, our good. And the unfortunate thing is that a lot of people is like, okay, I do this, but then I'm still hurt, so how can God be loving? Because He doesn't save you from the consequences of your actions. He just uses those consequences for your good. Let that sink in. God doesn't save you from your consequences, but He uses it for your good and for His glory in ways you couldn't even imagine. Okay? A lot of times I hear these people say, they ask God, why are you stopping us from having fun? But the truth is, the question should be, thank you for saving us from the things that are killing us, that are going to destroy us, and we don't even know it. But when you come to the point where you say thank you, the first question wouldn't even be asked anymore because that veil is torn. The heart has turned from stone to flesh again. These things may seem fun, but it's fleeting. It's just this momentary situation that lacks substance. It's odorless gas that kills you. You don't realize that it seems fun, but when you hit rock bottom, you realize, but what do I have left? You realize the insignificance of what you just did. Because it has no effect on anyone around you, but it does kill you. And the people around you. It's like binge drinking at 21. You know? It's not this aggression, anger management, stereotypical alcoholic. Because that doesn't fit. A lot of people uses that as the guideline. Just because the stereotype doesn't fit doesn't mean the addiction is less. It doesn't nullify the addiction that you don't fit the stereotype. Okay? There is an emptiness trying to be filled, a silence trying to be broken with every voice except the ones who can actually break it. Don't be discouraged if this is you, if you are at that point, because this is one of the greatest places to meet God. When you are broken down, when you are raw, when you have nothing to mask it with anymore. Because God can change your situation in a moment. He can do things beyond your imagination. He can take this situation that you physically don't know how to get out of, and He's going to use it for His glory and your good, and you're going to be starting to heal people in the same situation. This same situation that you don't even know you can get out of. And that's just the glory and the grace and the love of God that shines through our mistakes, through our bad decisions. And God doesn't leave us there. But that is also when you realize, oh, this is what God was trying to save me from. And this will become a testimony. Because That is our job as a Christian as well, for those that aren't in that situation. You need to share the gospel, the good news, that there is a way out. Because how is someone in this situation, in this bad addiction, in this slavery, in this bondage, in this chains, how are they going to know there is a way out if we don't share the gospel? Because how are they going to know the gospel if no one told them? And if no one told them, how are they going to repent and go to God? How are they going to find the solution if they've never heard of one? That's our responsibility. Because if you can just imagine God as a father sitting there seeing his child dying from the inside out, sitting in a situation he can get out of, but he doesn't know because we don't want to embarrass ourselves and share it. It's as simple as just talking to a person. Just a seed being planted. That's all it takes. And sometimes that's too much for us, for our reputation, for our comfort. It's someone else's destruction. But we need to realize when we're in that situation, or if we're in a similar situation, that the rock is God, the eternal rock of ages, okay? He was our last resort, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care that you went through everything and everyone before you came to him. He just cares that you came to him, that you turned to him, even if it was as a last resort and not a first priority. Because that's not what matters. You turned back to your Father and he loves you so much. He doesn't care how you got there, but the fact that you got to him. And that is beautiful. That is truly something that shows the heart of God. Because we would be like, no, you first went to him and you went to her and you went to this counselor and this person, but you didn't come to me first, so you clearly don't want my help. So go back to those people and try to get the help you need. Because clearly you value them more. God isn't like that. God is like, the fact that you are coming to me is all that matters. And in a moment, he can change a heart, a life, an outlook, a perspective. All he needs is surrender. That rock you hit, you build on it, or you just stay at rock bottom. Rock or rock bottom. Because you can build on that rock. Paul says that he prays the people into the hand of Satan because they need to come at a place where they have no other option than God, because that is what it sometimes takes to tear that veil in front of their eyes, to break the rocks over their heart, is for them to get to a place where they literally have nothing else but God. But when you come at that point, you need to decide, am I going to build on this rock? Am I going to build on God? And am I going to follow him? Am I going to surrender to him? Or am I just going to stay at rock bottom? Am I going to take the fleeting distractions of the devil? Because the devil tempts us with knockoffs. Pleasure versus joy. Momentary situational peace versus the eternal all-around peace of God. Because a lot of people will say, yeah, but I have peace. Yeah, when there's no stressors around you, when there's nothing that can stress you out, you have peace, sure. But it's not peace. It's just the absence of trials. It's just the absence of stressors. But God says you will have peace in every situation. You will be hunted down and you will have peace. And you will not know how or why, but you will know who. You are never down and out. Never. Till your last breath, you can be redeemed only by God. Only by the one true King. I'm going to share a story that is in the Bible actually about people who both got to rock bottom. The one chose that it was too much. There's nothing he could do. This pit is way too dark. And the other one said, it's so dark, all I have is God. And this is the story about Judas and Peter. Peter did a lot of things. He walked on water and started to doubt and started drowning. He cut off a man's ear standing right next to Jesus. When Jesus was busy suffering and dying, Peter denied knowing him. And here we have another man, Judas. He didn't mess up half as much as Peter that we know of. But he betrayed Jesus, just like Peter did. But when push came to shove, Peter turned to God. He cried out and he surrendered himself. He said, I have messed up so bad, I need my Father. Judas, who didn't really believe in that redemption, believed he was so dark, nothing, not even God can save him. And he killed himself. But I know God was sitting there looking at Judas, screaming out to him, my son, come back to me. Nothing you have done is too big for my grace, my love, my mercy. But because Judas didn't have a relationship like that, the voice he heard was just a fleeting moment, a fleeting wind rush. And now he's damned for eternity. But Peter had a relationship. And in his darkest moments, he turned back to God. Because God's love is all-encompassing in a way that we cannot imagine. Because he is pure love. And he loves you so much. In a way that you cannot understand. In a way that doesn't make sense to the human nature, the human heart. It's never too late to turn back to God. Not until your last breath. There's always a chance. It depends on you. We are not restricted. Okay? So now we can have joy. Joy has nothing to do with momentary pleasures. Joy is when you can go on. You are not depressed or saddened or anything, but you're in the midst of this whirlpool of problems. A joy that just glows out of you. And that's what people see. That's the joy of the Lord. So the choice is yours. Are you going to build on this rock? Or are you going to sit and seek distractions? Are you going to seek the solution or an excuse? Momentary pleasure versus this momentous purpose. The choice is yours. You have the authority to choose. You have the independence to move. So if I can leave you with this. There is nothing under this sun that will keep you away from God except your choices. Except your desires. Except where you go. But in a moment, in a split second, in the blink of an eye, your situation can turn around in ways you cannot even imagine. Because God loves you more than you can comprehend, than your physical brain can understand. You are precious. You are loved. You are honored. And it's all in His Word. The choice is yours. Thank you for being with me, for listening to all of this. I hope this really helped you. I would like you to comment your verse in the middle of a battle. When you hit rock bottom, where is it you turn to? What is it you turn to? What is the verse that motivates you back to God? Just comment it down below. Subscribe if this helped you in any way. And as always, one principle: let's go out with love, intention, and compassion. Thank you.